can't imagine my garden without gray foliage plants. Some of them even bloom, and with lavender you can cut the blooms, dry them, and use them as a fire starter for your fireplaces. You know, when you think about gardening, you never think about gray really as a color. So many other colors to think about when it comes to flowers. There's something about gray foliage that is so beautiful with flowers. Just look at this bed, for instance. Here it is in the spring, and I've got this Artemisia Poiscassel back here, and just look at this lamb's ear. This is called Helen von Stein. It's the big-eared lamb's ear. Now this lamb's ear will actually produce a flower. It's not very showy. I tend to grow it strictly for its gorgeous foliage. But then there are gray foliage plants that bloom, like this one called Yellow Flambe. It's actually a Chrysocephalum, which is sort of a big name for a plant that has a lot of merit. Just look at all the flower power this little guy has, and this plant will bloom from now until the first frost. It's really great. Now what I found with these gray foliage plants, including the lavender that I'm planting in this container, is they really need sharp drainage. They don't like wet feet. So you want to make sure that you have a lot of sand worked into the soil and doesn't hold too much moisture. The other thing is that most of them really like full sun. So you want at least 6 hours of sunlight for these type of plants for them to perform really well. Now this particular type of lavender is one called Provence. One of the reasons I love it is it's one of the lavenders that actually does well for me here. And what I've learned is the reason it does well is that I always plant it in containers and I make sure there's plenty of sand. Just look at all the sand that's in the soil that these were grown in. Now in just a few months, these plants will fill out this entire container and they'll begin to bloom. These gorgeous lavender colored blooms. But I wish you could smell this foliage. The foliage itself is so fragrant, it makes it worth growing. I won't place this particular container in a saucer, which is something I usually encourage people to do to keep the soil consistently moist, because these plants don't like too much water around their roots, just like I said about these guys over here. You know, gray is just such a wonderful harmonizing color. It makes everything feel more tranquil. I have gray gravel here, and even the teak has weathered to a beautiful sort of gray patina. So when you have so much gray around and then you have blooms like this, it allows the blooms to really step out and show off. Hey, if you're enjoying these tips on making your garden more beautiful, make sure you subscribe to ehowhome.